Gonna find out who the best man is. I respect you for what you've done in the game, but you ain't never went up against me or my staff. So you remember something. We've been here before. You trying to get there.
This matchup with Canelo. Butt beat his ass. How though? How does that look?
Outbox his ass. Just outboxing this shit.
What about the weight though?
It don't matter. Bud been fighting big people all his fucking life.
Is a pretty intelligent guy. He might not try to talk, and say different things that jump off the page at you, but he's not a stupid guy, man. He's intelligent.
At the press conference, Terence Crawford's trainer, Brian Bomac McIntyre, didn't hold back when addressing the Canelo fight. He dismissed concerns about weight and size, insisting that those factors won't matter once the bell rings. McIntyre reminded everyone that Crawford has made a career out of handling bigger, stronger opponents, and beating them convincingly. With calm confidence, he warned that Canelo is walking into real danger, because Crawford's skill set, discipline, and mentality will be the deciding factors on fight night.
Matchup with Canelo.
Bud beat his ass.
How though? How does that look?
Outbox his ass. Just outboxing this shit.
What about the weight though?
It don't matter. Bud been fighting big people all his fucking life.
Yeah.
What about the head movement, Bomac? Canelo's feigned head movement.
That's what I'm there for. That's what Saul there for. That's what Red there for. You know what I'm saying? It's called coaches.
Yeah.
So we can get past that shit.
Rumors of Canelo Alvarez struggling in sparring with Jaron Boots Ennis have stirred up heated debate across the boxing world. Ennis, known for his slick defense, quick footwork, and sharp counters, is often compared to Terence Crawford stylistically. If Canelo found it difficult against a fighter with a similar skill set in a controlled gym session, many are now questioning how much tougher it will be under the bright lights when Crawford himself is standing across the ring. Of course, sparring isn't the same as fight night, but patterns can be telling. For Crawford supporters, this rumor is fuel, proof that their man may have exactly the tools needed to expose Canelo's vulnerabilities when it really counts.
Canelo Alvarez, Terence Crawford. How excited are you? Obviously, you've seen this journey with Terence, you've seen the doubters over the years, and he's now on the biggest stage again with people questioning, and you obviously have full confidence that he's going to come out and get victory on September 13th.
Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely confident that he's going to get the victory. Second of all, I'm just happy for him and the team. So, the world can see once again why he considered the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world.
There was many a time where he was maybe struggling to get certain fights, and then he had to almost kick that door down. Is it nice to see him sort of getting the fruits of his labour now and getting that generational wealth off the back of what is, obviously it's a hard career boxing, you don't get given anything.
Definitely good to see him get, like you say, fruits of his wealth, getting these fights that, again, will show the world why he's the best fighter in the world. Show the world why he's the best fighter in the world. I'm just happy for him, man.
In response to the sparring chatter, Brian Bomac McIntyre quickly shut down any comparisons between Jaron Boots Ennis and Terence Crawford. While he acknowledged Ennis's talent, Bomac stressed that Crawford operates on an entirely different level. No sparring partner, no matter how skilled, can replicate what Crawford brings into a real fight. He explained that Crawford's greatness isn't just about speed or movement, it's his adaptability, ring IQ, and composure under pressure that separate him from the pack. For Bomac, the comparisons miss the point entirely. The upcoming fight, he insists, will highlight Crawford's uniqueness and prove why trying to measure him against anyone else is a mistake.
When we saw that he's in camp with him, right? And so people are saying now that they reached out to me and they're saying, well, Floyd Mayweather now has joined Terence Crawford's camp. Does that mean Floyd Mayweather doesn't like Jaron Boots Ennis? Floyd Mayweather went to Terence Crawford camp to give Terence Crawford advice on Canelo Alvarez. Well, one, Terence Crawford is not fighting Jaron Boots Ennis. That's number one. Number two, it's not shots at Jaron Boots Ennis if Floyd Mayweather was to go to Terence Crawford camp. Number three, I saw this clip that Fight Hype had put out, and it's an old clip of Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford at Shakur Stevenson's sparring session in Las Vegas. Shakur had called them all to be at that sparring session, okay? And Floyd Mayweather assisted. Now, Floyd Mayweather took on Canelo Alvarez September 14th of 2013. That was 12 years ago. Okay. And so with that said, this one has nothing to do with the other. Floyd Mayweather, from what I'm being told from Terence Crawford's camp, that he has not went up to Colorado and helped Terence Crawford do anything. Okay. Now I don't know if he's willing to or not. I don't know if Terence Crawford reached out to him or not. I don't know if they spoke on the phone or not. But you know, it's when you saw Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather at the top-ranked gym watching Shakur Stevenson, and they had a conversation with Eddie Hearn. That's very, very old. Okay, that's very old. Now Floyd Mayweather has stand pat on Terence Crawford is the best fighter in the world currently right now as it stands.
Boxing analyst Ade Oladipo voiced caution over Crawford's decision to put on significant weight for the Canelo fight. He stressed that success in boxing isn't dictated by size alone, but by the balance of skill, timing, and power. Adding too much weight too quickly, Oladipo argued, could risk slowing Crawford down or disrupting the natural rhythm that makes him so dangerous. Crawford's fluidity, speed, and sharp reflexes are his greatest weapons, yet those very strengths might be compromised if he forces his body to match Canelo in size. While many fans applaud Crawford for daring to climb the weight ladder, Oladipo's perspective highlights the hidden risks. Even the right preparation can create new challenges if it shifts a fighter away from what makes him special.
I know you saw him sparring with Boots. Give me your initial response to that.
That don't mean shit, man. That don't mean shit. That don't mean nothing, man. Boots ain't no Crawford.
That's right.
Yo, hey, like I said, that don't mean, all that shit don't mean nothing. That shit ain't gonna help him. He should have just got the last cab driver he just fought. Cause that shit ain't gonna, that don't mean nothing, man. All that shit don't mean nothing. You ain't no Bud Crawford. They don't have that mentality. Having that mentality and going upside your head at the same motherfucking time, shit, man. I don't give a fuck about all that shit at all.
Trainer Breadman Edwards offered a measured take on the Ennis-Canelo sparring chatter. He acknowledged that Crawford is fully aware Jaron "Boots" Ennis brings real power and that he's shared rounds with Canelo. But instead of letting that knowledge plant doubt, Edwards explained that Crawford folds it into his preparation. For Crawford, outside factors like sparring partners don't shake his confidence. What matters is the fight itself and his ability to adapt under the lights. In fact, knowing Ennis has been part of Canelo's camp may even sharpen Crawford's edge, pushing his team to account for that style in training. Edwards' message was clear. Crawford doesn't get rattled by who his opponent brings in. If anything, these circumstances fuel his focus and highlight his trademark mental toughness.
Too wiry. Crawford was the guy at 135 pounds that looked really skinny. Even at 140, go and watch his fights against, who's the one that made, I'm trying to think of his name now. The fight at 140, Julius Ndongo.
Oh, yeah.
And when he's just skinny, he's like wiry. He's very much Tommy Hearns. Now.
Oh, have you seen him? He's massive.
He's jacked.
Man, he looks like huge. He's got to be north of 170.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah. There's a part of me that's like, dude, you don't need to be that big. Like, I don't think this is a strength for strength thing. I think this is a skill and speed thing. I don't know. I feel like if you're trying to sit on your punches to hurt Canelo, nobody hurts Canelo.
He's been hit by Callum Smith, Sergey Kovalev, Bivol.
Yeah.
Crawford ain't hurting.
Golovkin.
And Golovkin. Crawford ain't hurting him.
But Crawford knocks everyone out.
At 147 pounds. That when he at 154, did he knock out Ismail Madrimov?
No, he didn't put a dent in him, really.
Didn't put not even a little dent in him. Canelo Alvarez is not Ismail Madrimov.
Yeah, but who is Canelo Alvarez now?
That's a good question.
Yeah, like who are we watching now? Because when I go back and watch the guy that fought Skull, everyone likes to dig out Skull. Sorry, one second. Canelo's got to do more. Canelo's output was the worst output I've ever seen of a unified champion. I'm not joking, the worst.
That fight.
Yeah.
He literally did. But my kind of thinking is all right, well, who is Canelo now? Well, in the nicest way, although he's been fighting good fighters, when's the last time he had a super fight?
Who?
Canelo. And that's when we see the real Canelo, when he has a super fight.
Okay, Bivol.
Yes, correct. He lost. But Bivol was significantly better at 175 pounds.
Okay.
Much bigger.
Yeah.
Crawford, similar in terms of, they're both skillful.
One of the most common arguments among fans and analysts is that Canelo's sheer size will be too much for Crawford to handle. Supporters of Canelo point to his proven strength at higher weight classes and question whether Crawford, who began his career all the way down at lightweight, can withstand the punishment from a naturally bigger man. At the heart of the debate is the clash between physicality and skill. Skeptics of Crawford argue that, eventually, size matters more than talent. They believe that no matter how sharp Crawford's technique is, physics has its limits, and when Canelo lands those heavy power shots, Crawford may not be able to endure them. This belief fuels a widespread sentiment in boxing circles, that stepping up against Canelo might simply be a challenge too far, even for a fighter as gifted as Crawford.
That's why I said I'm not changing my percentage. It can make Canelo go up. It can make him lose his confidence or take a piece from him. And it can make Crawford say, okay, let me tell you something about Crawford, man. I watched Crawford. I will watch how he evolved throughout the years. I've been watching him. Me, Red, and Bomac been cool since way before Crawford hit the mainstream. Way before he hit the mainstream. And I watched him. Crawford is a pretty intelligent guy. He might not try to talk, and say different things that jump off the page at you, but he's not a stupid guy, man. He's intelligent. He know Boots is the real deal. No matter what all of the public say and everybody talking, he knows it. He knows Boots is the real deal. Crawford's little brother is Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson and Boots is super cool, and Shakur Stevenson was in the amateurs with Boots. Don't you think Shakur told Bud, yo, bro, I love you. You my big bro, but that kid nice, bro. You gonna have to be on your game to fuck with him. You don't think Shakur told Crawford that, and you don't think he respected his opinion? You don't think that Red and Bomac got eyes and they know Boots is special? You don't believe that? I don't care about all this talk on the internet because they may fight. So you can't be too complimentary of a guy that you may fight. But you don't think they know that? So by him bringing Boots in, that's probably going to take Bud to another level mentally. And that's where I think that Bud win this fight. I think he got a mental edge.
Another key layer to the debate is Canelo's wealth of experience at the highest level. Analysts point out that he has faced nearly every style imaginable: slick technicians, heavy-handed brawlers, counterpunchers, and defensive masters. His resume is stacked with championship rounds fought under the brightest lights, where pressure is at its peak. More than just size and strength, this experience gives Canelo an aura of composure that few opponents can disrupt. History shows that adversity rarely rattles him. Instead, he finds ways to adjust and endure. Supporters of Alvarez argue that this deep bank of knowledge, combined with his natural power, makes him a puzzle unlike any other. Their belief is simple: while skill matters, experience under fire often decides the outcome. And in that department, Canelo holds a decisive edge over Crawford.
Canelo versus Crawford, who you got?
I got Canelo winning. I think Canelo's gonna knock him out. But
I think Canelo's gonna hurt him.
I think he's just too powerful, man, too strong. I hope Terence Crawford does well and stuff, man, because I love the way he fights, and he's a hell of a fighter, and I respect him as well too. So I hope he puts up a good fight and everything. But at the end of the day, man, Canelo, if he catches you, dude, it's gonna knock you out.
Look, at the end of the day, I always say this: he took Golovkin's biggest hit, and he took Bivol' biggest hit. I don't think Crawford could knock him out.
I think Terence Crawford can knock Canelo out if he catches him, because with Gennady Golovkin hit harder, but he was a lot slower. Yeah. So when Canelo seen the punches coming, he's able to embrace. I think if Terence Crawford catches Canelo with a shot that he doesn't see coming, boom, then he could hurt him.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
Some voices in the boxing world remain torn about this matchup. On one hand, they applaud Crawford for daring to chase greatness, stepping into a challenge that few would even consider. But on the other, they question whether this is the right opponent to cement his legacy. Their hesitation isn't about Crawford's skill. Few doubt his talent. It's about the possibility of an unfair physical gap overshadowing what makes him special. Critics argue he could have proven his greatness against other elite names without testing himself against someone so much bigger. Yet, even with these concerns, many acknowledge the upside. This fight gives Crawford a platform unlike any other, offering not only unprecedented visibility, but also the kind of financial reward that can define a career.
There's things about being in camp with Canelo, it's just different. He's got speed, he's got velocity, he's got precision, he's got positioning, he's got power, and he's got just an incredible amount of experience. I think there's 10 fights that haven't been added to his record. So, and Bud, when Bud was fighting at 130 or 35, Canelo already was at 54. So, there's definitely weight classes for a reason.
Bullmack framed the showdown not as a simple test of size and strength, but as a battle of intellect inside the ring. His analysis zeroed in on what he calls the finer details of boxing, the elements that separate good fighters from great ones. Timing can neutralize raw power. Speed can offset size. And adaptability, in Bomack's view, is Crawford's greatest weapon. He described Crawford as a moving puzzle, one that no opponent has ever truly solved. His well-known mantra, "Skills pay the bills," isn't just a catchy phrase, but the foundation of Crawford's career. It reinforces the belief that while Canelo brings experience and firepower, it is Crawford's mastery of nuance, rhythm, and adjustment that could tilt the fight in his favor.
High guard?
High guards,
Okay.
man.
Another good segue. Let's talk about the real deal, though. Ryan, questionable fighter. Some people always question certain things. That boy Canelo, that boy Crawford. Nobody questioning those two. How you feel about that fight coming up?
I'm questioning it. I'm not a fan of it.
Oh, what?
Big man, little man. I wish Crawford had some other opportunities to really solidify his greatness in a different way. Canelo, he's got Bivol, he's got Benavidez, he's got all these other legitimate 168, 175 pound guys that he can fight, for my opinion, to really help his namesake. And you're gonna go fight a little smaller guy. And I'm not something against Bud. Bud is as talented as they come.
Really?
But you're talking about a guy that probably walks around at 180, 190 pounds. Bud is not a huge, massive guy.
Right.
I don't know if y'all can tell us what the hydration clause is. I'm not sure if he got that worked out. Probably not, because Canelo is obviously the A side. But I just think there's better fights for both of them to be had. I'm glad that Bud is going to get this payday. It's very important. I hope he doesn't rob it to the sunset after this one. But I'm really disappointed in Canelo because I felt like Canelo has a lot of other opportunities he could to really solidify himself as being a pound for pound great, and I think this is going to kind of win or lose is going to tarnish his reputation.
Really? Now, what if he takes this fight and then he rides off into the sunset with Benavidez?
Same
something
thing.
Like that. Same thing.
I mean, he's got to fight Benavidez. He's got to fight. He's got to fight Bivol again. He's got to fight the up and coming 168, 165 to 175 pound guys.
We know where we need to be by the time we step in the ring. We got the doctors and the scientists and the nutritionists and everybody that's in camp that's going to do their part to get where we need to get.
How much more power does he have?
He got some thudding power up there, and we're just going to sustain it for 36 minutes.
Why do you believe you've got what it takes to come up 2 divisions?
Like I told the other guy, skills pays the bills. You gotta have skills, man, to be going up there to fight somebody like that, like a Canelo. And not only is it offense, you gotta have defense too. You know what I'm saying? So, styles makes fights. Bud got the better skills, and he got the better mind too.
Do you think with the styles in mind, but also the weight in mind, he can get that job done based on he's just so much more excelling in the skills?
You know what? He gonna get the job done. I promise you that. He'll get the job done. Because Bud boxing IQ is off the charts. You know what I'm saying? Next to Canelo, I'm not taking nothing away from him, but Bud just a little bit better.
I can tell you fully believe in your fighter and he believes in himself too. There was a slight back and forth at the press conference there. That was just a battle of belief. Who believes they're better? Obviously Terence believes he's better. Did you look into that? What happened at the press conference there as the first
That's
war
just
of words?
That's just press conference, man. The reason why I believe into my fighter is because from day one. The first day he walked in the gym to where we at now. We haven't lost yet. Okay? He got a loss. He got 2 losses.
How does that affect him coming into this fight?
One thing about this, I always remember this. He got 2 losses, right? We got no losses. So we know what to do to get that win, right?
That's it for this video. Stay tuned, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more.